Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to EBCW Main Event, the return of Main Event after quite some time being off the channel, probably about a year or two now, to be exact, if I'm remembering everything correctly. But anyway, guys, this is Main Event. I have a great match set up for everybody in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Kabuki Warriors will face Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. And it's a pretty solid match. Had a lot of fun playing it. And as you can tell, it's the first commentary of the 2K20 season, giving you guys my thoughts about various topics in wrestling and as well as the game itself. And I figured, as I usually do in the first week of Universe Mode doing EBCW, we're going to be doing the review for WWE 2K20. So after a couple weeks of playing this game, boy, I got a lot to talk about. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. First, there's a shit ton of bugs and glitches everywhere. I personally have not seen these bugs or glitches. However, if I'm going to be completely honest, some of the bugs and glitches I've seen, while yeah, they're annoying and all that shit, I've seen some pretty hysterical ones. So if anything, it's giving content creators content, for a lack of a better word, content to, put up online, get likes, retweets, likes on their videos, subscriptions, that sort of shit. If you're basically a WWE 2K or a WWE game channel, the first week and a half of this game was like a fucking gold mine for you, because that's just how the game is when it releases. It's an absolute shit show. But I haven't really run into anything too bad personally, but I understand people's frustration with it. I personally think it's more funny than annoying, but that's just my honest opinion. Now here's something that bugged the shit out of me. Like, really bugged the shit out of me. It has since been fixed, and I commend 2K for getting it fixed as soon as they could have, but I'm still angry at the fact that this was a problem to begin with. And that is entrance. The entrances. Creating an entrance for your created superstar, or editing an entrance for a superstar. For some reason, at one point in time, it would be an endless loading screen that some people even reported 45 minutes until the shit actually worked, or 45 minutes until they just decided to give up and quit. The fact that something so easy that has been in this game for God knows how long took that amount of time to load and have it, or even have an issue in general, I don't even know what to say. It's been in the game forever. How do you fuck up something like create an entrance? Like, it's basic. It's so basic to me that something like that could be fucked up. I don't even know. I don't know how it got fucked up, but I'm just glad it's fixed. And I finally uploaded. I finally created Matt Awesome's entrance. Although there is a couple of issues with it as well. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I did run into a couple issues creating the actual entrance, but I may do with what I had. Next, and this is probably one of my biggest issues with the game, the controls. There was a line being thrown around. Hold on a second before I continue. Is it so fucking funny how basically the roles are reversed for these two women? Like, Mandy Rose is supposed to be Sonya Deville, and Sonya Deville is supposed to be Mandy Rose. It's funny as shit. Like, this entrance, when I was watching it, I'm like, okay, that has to get edited at some point in time, but then I just let it go, and I'm like, oh, that's just too goddamn funny. Either way, controls. Back to the controls. There was a line being thrown around by 2K and other various content creators in the community, saying that they had switched the controls so that they could be more streamlined. Don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean, but all I've been experiencing since these changes is frustration. They basically changed 2K makes these stupid fucking changes with the controls every couple of years. It happened with 2K 17 with a couple of object pickups where that was fucking retarded. Now in 2K20, they've once again shown their ineptitude with changing practically the entire fucking control scheme. Why they did it, I don't understand. It didn't need to be changed. I understand why some things were changed, because I'm not going to lie, I've said it on Nitro, and I'll say it again. The triangle button, for some reason, is a little bit easier for me to use than the actual trigger R2 button on my PlayStation 4 controller. I don't know why. I feel like that's the only notable change of improvement. I don't mind the R2 trigger either, but at the same time, they've changed everything else. Like, I had to constantly go back in matches, off camera, and I'm playing a match, and I'm saying to myself, okay, what the fuck is this control? Like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know why the fuck they need to change these things. And the fact that they don't offer an option to revert back to the old way is even more dumb. Like, 2K, come on, man. You could easily, like, you've let us do it all these times before for, you know, submission holds and shit. Like, if you don't like the new submission system, change it to the old one, which I get. But come on, you've done that before for submissions. Let us do it again for the whole fucking control scheme, dude. Some of us don't like this shit. I think pretty much a majority of the community doesn't fucking like these controls. I fucking hate them, other than the reversal button. However, with the reversal button allows the finisher button to be 2 buttons, square and X, on PlayStation 4. Again, why does it have to be 2 fucking buttons? And say you accidentally press one button over the other. You've already been fucked then, because it's going to make you do a standard striking move as opposed to just something else. Like I said, man, these controls are fucking terrible. Some of the worst I've seen in any fucking game I've ever played. And I haven't really played a lot of games with bad controls, but this might be the worst. This is easily probably the first and the worst game that I've seen that with these awful anti-consumer controls, because this shit, as streamlined as they want you to believe it is complete fucking garbage. I don't want to hear all this bullshit saying, oh, you have to adapt to it, blah, blah, blah. There's an old saying that goes, what isn't broken doesn't need to be fixed. And that's exactly how I feel about the control scheme. Other than the reversal button. The reversal button I understand. Other than that, don't understand why everything else had to be changed. Another thing I've noticed, and this is just a look and graphics complaint that I have, is the game overall looks darker. Like, there's some places in the game looks super fucking dark. I don't know why. Like, the shadows, I don't know, the way the characters look, it's just something about this game looks a little bit darker to me, and perhaps too dark in some cases. And it's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like shit. The game overall looks like shit. Hell, like, the graphics are easily a downgrade. I mean, I'm gonna make a comment in a upcoming video of Main Event where I'm talking about Io Shirai's face. Like, Io Shirai, a very beautiful woman in real life, in this game, ugly as hell. Ugly as fuck. But the darkness in this game, you know, sometimes, you know, having darkness and shading and shit is a good thing. Something about it just doesn't look good in this game. I don't know. The crowd looks too fucking dark in some places. I can't see shit. The characters, the way the lighting is a little awkward in my opinion. But that's just me. I'm no game developer, so what do I know? But still, that's just a small complaint I have. Hit detection, another issue many of us have talked about. Hit detection's off, man. It's fucking off. There's some instances here and there where there actually is an issue. I think it was either in this video or the next one coming up after this, where I had some issues with hit detection, and it's bad. It's easily some of the worst I've seen. I mean, I thought fucking Call of Duty had bad hit detection with guns. I mean, goddamn, you can't even get player physics right, people physics right in a fucking 2K, in a WWE game. It's fucking abysmal. Really, it is. It doesn't bother me too much at times. Like, sometimes I can deal with it, but other times it's just like, okay, I know that's a hit any other game. Any other game, 17, 18, 19, that's an easily hit. That's easily me kicking a guy in the face when he's on the ground. For some reason in 2K20 doesn't connect. Don't know why. Here's something that's very strange. I'm not sure if they implemented it this game or last year because I don't remember playing many triple threats in 2K19. When the fuck do you get DQ'd in a triple threat match? I was playing as Candice LeRae or something, and I pulled out a chair and smacked the fuck out of, I don't know who it was, EO or Kyrie. I don't know who the fuck was in the match, but I smacked the fuck out of someone in the back with a chair. All of a sudden, ding, 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 you've been disqualified. I'm like saying to myself, what the fuck is this shit? I used to do this shit all the time in games. That's how I would fucking win. That's how I would win half the time, is me pulling out a weapon. And isn't a triple threat match no disqualification anyway, because all rules are basically out the window? Like, that's bullshit. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with that. I'm not sure when this got implemented, but this is one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen. Again, changing shit for the sake of changing shit. Don't like it. Bullshit. Change it back. In terms of the roster, it's a bit of a letdown. My wish list video in 2K19, I mentioned how I kind of wanted, NXT UK to be better represented. It is, but not to the extent I was hoping for. I mean, for Christ's sake, you don't have Walter, who is the United Kingdom champion. You don't have Zach Gibson. You don't have any of the titles, more or less. You don't even have the fucking titles for NXT UK in here. Like, that's kind of fucking sad. It's really sad. I mean, honestly. And overall, the roster, I'm just not feeling it. I feel like there's so much talent there's so much talent in WWE that they could easily create, a current roster without the use of so many legends. And, playing as the legends is cool and all, but at times it gets pretty old. So I'm not sure. I would have preferred a more current roster and a roster that represented, all the brands better. 2K Originals, as we wind down here, I don't give a fuck about it, dude. I have no intention on touching it, no intention on playing it. I'm not into the wacky shit. Some people are. I'm not knocking you if you are. I'm really not. If you like that whole spooky goth shit, by all means, more power to you. If that's your thing. If you want to have fun in that way, go ahead. My fun comes from just playing the game, playing Universe Mode, doing all that shit, playing Showcase, that stuff. I don't get enjoyment out of the wacky shit. I just feel like it has no place in the game. And with that being said, it doesn't bother me that it's in the game. It's the fact that everything else in the game suffers while this is in the game. So if they're going to take the time, I think Chris Denkop said this better than anybody. If they're going to take the time to add this sort of shit into the game, why isn't it done properly? Why isn't the game developed properly? I don't fucking know. I just feel like they put too many different things into the game, and it just didn't work out the way they wanted it to, because a lot of things in this game suffered because of those aspects. And overall, as the Kabuki Warriors take the victory here on main event, the first main event of EBCW 2K20, the game to me is an overall letdown from 2K19. I love 2K19 to death. I had issues with it, but it's not nearly as bad as this. It's just not polished. That's all it is. So my name is Edge0626. That's my review on WWE 2K20. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. Do you agree? Disagree? Do you have your own problems that you want to talk about? By all means, please let me know, and continue to tune in for the main event of main event. No pun intended. See you guys soon.